Hello, welcome to my channel, A Piece of Gaia. My name is Lindsay, and today we're going to do a card reading that is more of just a general card reading, but it is a pick a card so you can get a little bit more specific. And we're going to do a card of the day here with this deck to start out, and then we will get your 3 different picks here. So I hope you're all doing well today and having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Sending you out lots of love and support today. Alright, so what animal spirit would like to come visit us today as our card of the day, or a general kind of energy over all this? We have the coyote. Coyote. Yeah, alright, so number 16, coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. So if there's any way that you're feeling a block in whatever you're moving forward in, I'm feeling that there is many different works around it. There are many different detours. There are many different ways to get to your destination. Okay, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the unicorn or unicorn tarot. I don't know if this one has been up yet. Alright, there's pick number 1. Number 2. And pick number 3. If you'd like to pick before I turn them over, it's totally up to you. Right, now I'm going to flip them over. Number 1 is the 2 of Wands. Number 2 is the 5 of Cups. And number 3 is the 4 of Wands. And I'm also going to put some crystals on here that you can choose from. And I will see you in your selected reading, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Hello to those of you that selected group number 1 here with this triangle crystal or pyramid crystal. Okay. And then this card here, the 2 of Wands. So I feel we are in the planning stages of something here. We have not quite left for our journey. We're kind of in this headspace. I feel lots of energy is being cultivated within, and you're finding new ways to look outside of yourself. I feel there's something also where you're integrating parts of your shadow in order to accumulate more energy and power for whatever you're going out for. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling for that. So let's get you an archetype card here to start out with. All right. What archetype do we need to look at, understand, review today? What do we need to look at? This is a general reading. And if you went right to the timestamps and did not see the card of the day that's associated with this entire reading, it's the coyote spirit with trust in divine detours, number 16. All right. We are dealing with the archetype of the self. I'm going to go ahead and get out all the cards here on the table, and I'm not going to fast forward this time. I'm just going to let the ASMR sound of the cards and whatever is around me, the clanging of my bracelets and such. All right. So we have the sun here with self-expression and embodied truth. We also have Venus here with give and receive, love, find value, and see beauty. So this is amazing. I really love how this all came out, because this card, the self, the archetype of the self, is really showing me that through this process of understanding more of this expression and understanding more of your truth. So with that, it's a little bug over here. With that coyote spirit coming through, I feel like the detour that you're going to be taking is a way of something more beautiful. You're going to be taking the more appreciated way, the more beautiful way, the way that is going to give you a more aesthetic value, and it's going to help you progress a little more on your journey. So you're going to be taking the scenic route, I feel. And with that, you'll be also feeling more aspects and layers of yourself. I'm seeing all these spectrums of colors as well. I feel like there is a vast amount of energy that you are yet to expose about yourself to, I feel, yourself, and learning about all these layers and all these colors that you have within you. And that's why I feel like the divine detour is so important at this time. It's like the coyote spirit is showing you that there's a different way of something that you've been doing, and through this process of changing the way that you're going to be operating things, you are giving yourself more love, you're showing yourself more value, and I feel like you're also spending more quality time with yourself and someone that you really love. I feel an aspect of feminine masculine energy as well. So if this has any relationship energy attached to it, I feel like you are going to be discovering more things about each other, taking time, taking the scenic route, taking time to smell the roses together, having a beautiful day together. And maybe this planning stage and this Two of Wands here is showing you that we're slowing down before we go forward. Because I'm feeling that feminine masculine aspect. It's like you're really wanting to take it all in, but also move forward with something. So if this is a relationship, again, I will say that if you're feeling like this relationship is taking any detours at all and not going down the direct path that you would like, it's because it's asking you to understand more aspects of yourself, and this is going to open you up. I'm feeling like this very authentic version of yourself coming forward, and then being able to see what's going to match up with you when it comes with relationships. Because sometimes we don't always show our very, very true raw self, and for very good reason. That's an exposed nerve. Basically, we want to like cover that up for a little while before we can know that we could trust someone with it, right? So I'm feeling that like you need to know that you can trust someone or trust a situation that you're in enough to be able to bring out your full color of yourself. I feel like there's this beautiful energy that is coming out, and I'm also seeing this as seeing the beauty of what you already have, having appreciation for what you already have, not maybe adding, but really appreciating for what you have. I'm seeing you as a person. The sun's really coming out here in your reading. The sun's really projecting towards me here. So I'm also feeling like once you do that, there's going to be so many things about you. You're going to be illuminated. I'm feeling the sun shining on my face right now. I have to close my eyes. It's really bright. And I'm feeling like people are going to have to be able to maybe even metaphorically wear sunglasses around you, because you have such a radiant light. And this is just I love this. So let's get some more tarot on this energy and see. Okay. What do those that selected group number 1 need to hear at this time? Before I get this out, I'm also seeing in this image this shadow in here, and what I'm seeing from that is the integration of your shadow is also a very beautiful aspect of you. It keeps you here, it keeps you in your physical body, and there are things that I feel we don't always integrate about things that are maybe more negative aspects about ourselves, because maybe we haven't looked at it with a broader lens. And I'm seeing like the detour in that is like there's this broader lens, this bigger aspect of yourself that you're going to be discovering, and there is this gem, this pearl hidden within this shadow aspect, integrating the light and the shadow. And I had recently gotten the shadow card from this deck, and I was reading about it, and then I also did the prompt where I got the book Owning Your Own Shadow. I did this a while back, but I recently picked it back up again, and I've read the whole book, but I was kind of more using it just as my daily thing. So I flipped through the pages to a page that I felt was just, it kind of opened up the meaning of the shadow aspect, and it was like really regarding the fact that sometimes when we think that we have taken the shadow out and almost defeated it, we're really just putting it in a different area for it to come out again in something else. So what I read, this was just today that I read this, and it was like about how the shadow aspect of yourself is casted through the light. So the more you seek this aspect of this very light part of yourself, oh, I'm this good, this good, this good, and never really acknowledging a little bit of that darker side of yourself, a little bit of that hidden aspect of yourself, a little bit of that I'm hearing like a trickery side, or the side where you like to indulge in sweet treats, or you like to indulge in buying certain things. Like I'm seeing Venus coming through here and saying that, there's nothing wrong with doing things that feed a little bit of that shadow aspect to keep you in a blissful state, to keep you balanced. Because I feel sometimes in spirituality as well, we get into this very light aspect of ourselves where we want so much of this light, but we don't understand that through that process, we are casting a bigger shadow, because you're raising yourself up. You're making this huge beacon of light. And then with that beacon of light, there's that huge shadow that casts. Because what you're saying in that aspect of yourself is that I'm not acknowledging that. And then when we do that, we also attribute to this kind of separation from other people, and understanding them and understanding their ways, and we push away all these things. And I feel like integrating all right now for yourself is a very beautiful thing. I'm also feeling like if this is about a person, please do not put this person on a pedestal, is what I'm hearing from Spirit saying. Please do not do that, because that is when the shadow is even longer. Because if you do that, you're basically making this person not a person. You're making them an idol. You're making them somebody who can do no wrong. So then when they actually fail you, or they make a human error, you're going to take it way, way too harsh, when you could look at it like they're human. They make mistakes too. No one is perfect. And I believe, there is this thing where we kind of have to have this, I'm seeing the, like in a warehouse, that bulletin board that they put up, and it has like 0 days of incident. And I'm seeing that like as a score, like in a relationship. And that is not a good thing. Like you're not a company. You're not a person who needs to put insurance claims out on your relationship. There's gonna be bumps and trials and errors in a relationship. And I also recently had a friend who got engaged, and he was very happy, and he had only been with this person for a few weeks, and I was a little wary. And then just recently he had to stay with us because he had an argument with his partner. And I only bring this up and say this because I know the people that watch my videos are not really connected to these people that I'm speaking of. So, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but I didn't say anything to him. I let him process with my partner. They're friends more than I'm friends with him, so I didn't really say anything until the morning because I don't like to use a lot of words to give people advice because I feel like a lot of it's unsolicited. But when someone is in obvious pain to me and they're sharing their story, sharing, what they're doing is they're asking me to say something in return that might comfort them in some way. So the only thing that I had to say to him was, all relationships, we all argue. In fact, it's very healthy for us to argue so that we can find boundaries. But it's how do we do that? That's all I said. And then he started talking more about, he's like, yeah, I know, I really tried to not be nasty with her, say anything bad or ruin, say some deal breaker stuff, and that's really tricky and triggering sometimes when we're in a relationship and we find something out and we're new in a relationship and we find something out about someone or something happens. And then here comes out this shadow aspect of ourselves that we don't even really know how to deal with, or we don't even know how we're going to react to whatever has been presented to us. And this is a test for you to see what your character has developed into. And if you feel yourself getting immature or making comments that have to degrade the other person or something like that, what it's telling me is you're in this phase of understanding another person and understanding yourself and your shadow. And when you can understand that more, you can integrate it. And so we talked just a little bit more, and I did say, me and my partner, we've had arguments, we've had fights, we've had some pretty awful fights, and we've been together for, a long time. We're going on 15 years now. So there's this thing that happens in relationships where nothing is going to be always so perfect and peachy keen. And I feel like if you're gonna be in a relationship for more than a year, you're gonna have to deal with some of that hard stuff that's hard to deal with. And if this is all, this whole speech of mine here is presented to you is not really resonating, obviously you can pick another pile or something like that. But maybe this is something that you need to hear if it's triggering at all. But really, I feel like there is a level of understanding that you're finding out about yourself, and you're integrating that self into how you're communicating in relationships. And I feel like this next venture that you take out into the world, you're going to be more equipped. Feel this more equipped energy, like you're ready. Okay, so let's get some energy for you here. Kitties. All right, so the Emperor, the Four of Swords, Two of Swords, the Justice, and the Princess of Cups. So already, regardless of these, and this bottom of the deck is Six of Pentacles. So regardless of this, I'm instantly guided to the numbers, because we have 29 in this card, we have a 2, we have 4, so, and 6, and these numbers all are showing me this harmonious energy. And if you add this one, another 2. So 2s and 4s are showing me in this, there is an aspect of a balance, a flow, a steadiness, and there is probably also something that we are reworking, I feel, and understanding about the combination of, and I feel like within that there's a lot of learning as well. I'm also seeing like student teacher vibes as well with that, because I feel like number 2 is the student, number 4 is the teacher. So number 2 is also a very much a lover, or 2 can be a sensitive character, or 2 can often be, as a life path energy, 2 can often be a person who regards love highest of all, but sometimes throughout their life will show a harshness or a coldness or a materialistic or superficial aspect, because they know that once they go there, it's so deep and it can be so confronting on that shadow aspect. And they may not put off that they're like this super brilliant person, but they do know and they have more instincts about that. Okay. All right. So the Emperor is coming through, is showing me the Emperor and the Justice here. Okay. They're showing me this doorway, this gateway opening up to you finding more balance and stability, and maybe even also having something to do with another person. Okay, so I'm seeing that the Emperor could be a masculine involved. This is also giving me father vibes. This is giving me also the teacher that we had spoke of before, but that sun aspect that came through. There is a man on a woman's mind, I'm feeling with this, okay? And I'm also feeling there is a woman that has very masculine qualities that she's integrating in order to take on the world here. And I'm saying, go for it, girl. Walk through that door. Feel that new integration of whatever downloads I feel that are coming in for you right now. Because there's a lot of processing, a lot of decisions to be made in the twos, okay? And then 4 of Swords is like this resting period of time. So like I had seen in this before, it's like giving yourself that quality time, taking those detours, going on the scenic route, not the more efficient route, right? So I'm also seeing in the Princess of Cups, if this is a right relationship dynamic of these two individuals coming together, there is an age gap of some type, there is a professional gap of some type, maybe just in the way of knowing the world, having a little more experience in the world versus someone who is a little more sheltered or head in the clouds or more artistic, not wanting to deal with. I'm feeling there's a lot of political energy in this card, and this card is more artistic. So there's like also this analytical and emotional aspect. So putting this all together, this is really rounding up a very well-rounded individual. All these cards are showing me this very feminine masculine balance, this ability to settle and calm and meditate in a moment, this ability to also block out everything else in order to make the right decision, because these decisions are going to be bearing on the new, what kind of doorways you're opening up, what kind of energy you're balancing so that you can find more peace in your life. And then underlyingly here with the 6 of Pentacles, there is some reciprocity going on in some way. Someone might be giving you something, gifting you something. I also see maybe you are wanting to give someone a gift or something like that. I am posting this video on Valentine's Day. I did not really want to have it like a huge theme of that, but there is the aspect of that coming out here in the cards. And I will say that maybe you are getting a gift for Valentine's Day. Maybe there is a love situation happening. If this is a person in a relationship, if you are in a relationship, I feel like we're finding more truth and more understanding and more deep connection. And also these 2 cards are showing me this might be an aspect of marriage as well. There might be a decision or something. There might be a proposal. I'm also seeing someone's planning something, someone's doing something. I'm sorry, I don't mean to burst the bubble or ruin this surprise. But yeah, there just feels like there is a lot of giving involved within this dynamic of this energy. Okay, giving to yourself, giving to another person, just being a very loving, supportive individual that wants the best for both sides in most regards. All right, so let's get you an ending message here. We're going to get 2 ending messages. First one is going to be this deck here. And the light worker message. All right, so we have Lumeria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So from this card, it's so cute. I love this card because when we had all this other energy coming forward, when you say it's happening, something is becoming real. Something is becoming more, not just the energy, like we had said in the beginning. It's not just the energy that you've cultivated. It's now taking a physical form here. So, beautiful. So the next one is going to be what can you do on a cozy night in. This is the Chubby Witch Night In Oracle. So we're just going to see what are some things that you can kind of focus on when it comes to a night in with yourself, especially now. This is a timeless reading, but if you are in a wintry season, or you'd like to be more cozy indoors or anything like that, or just taking a break in general, we're going to kind of look at that. All right, so we all go through phases. Number 37 here. So yeah, I see those moon phases in the wall. I see these two dogs. So I feel like there is definitely some loyalty. This open door is really showing me already. It's like it's already open. It's like you're relaxed, you're cozy, you're in your element. You're in a position where things are I'm feeling these dogs are showing me a lot of balance, and also I'm seeing a shadow aspect. It's like you have integrated, you have like fully accept and fully deal with yourself. And as a night in, I feel like the phases are showing me that maybe the night in can involve some type of ritual. I'm seeing that snake tattoo on her arm. Maybe this ritual could involve and the snake down here. So I'm feeling like this ritual can involve doing something really healthy for yourself, shedding. Also, I'm seeing the epidermis also being a very important thing. Maybe you want to do some sugar scrubs and skin therapies, or masks on your face, you know, some beauty treatments. Venus is really bringing that through. So the phases showing me like also maybe even a feminine cycle. If you are within watching this video, if you're going into your feminine cycle, it's telling you to maybe really look up, maybe this time around, maybe this particular feminine cycle of the year, you just go a little extra. You do a little bit more for yourself. You get yourself the rose hips tea, and you put the cream on, and make your, you know, if you have some cream that you like that really enlightens your senses and makes you feel good, makes you feel cozy. I'm also feeling that as well. But yeah, the skin is really coming out to me in this, not caring for the skin. Is I'm also seeing it being like this thing that you do for yourself to love yourself, you know, physically, you know, this physical aspect of loving yourself, you know, putting that lotion on your skin and just taking your time to focus and really integrate that side. And when you have those negative thoughts, I feel sometimes in the Four of Swords that kind of comes through. So it's like when those negative thoughts enter our mind, let's just constantly keep reminding ourselves of that gratitude that we have. You know, because I feel like we look at ourselves and we see all these little things, and there's always that nagging voice. And a lot of times, you know, you could put the blanket statement of it's challenging, it's a challenge for me, but also it could be negative, like it's trying to pull you back into a negative aspect. But really, I feel a lot of the time we're just so creative. We have such a creative mind, and that's another aspect that I feel like I read in the Owning Your Own Shadow book, was when we let our thoughts get ahead of ourselves, a lot of the time our brain will be so creative and just keep going and keep going. And some of us have really high functioning creativity, and I'm feeling that you might be one of those individuals. So really taking that moment and that time for yourself to acknowledge that that's happening, acknowledge that your brain is kind of creating these scenarios and these things, and sitting with yourself and knowing, this card just tells me also, it's like, do a little prayer, do something that is sending out a message that is like an affirmation. You know, you're affirming that you're safe, you're affirming that you're at peace, and also wanting to bring more of that in. Okay. And there is a very small side message here for someone who, if they have somebody who is in the armed forces, okay? There's somebody here who has a partner who's in the military or something like this. Also, there is a message, maybe this person is also incarcerated, okay? So there's that. So I'm saying that I'm seeing that this is moving along. It's all happening. Things are being created for this person. A way is being created. And yes, you can say your prayers for this person. help this person as much as you can, but the best thing that you can do in your current circumstance is to live your best life. And if you're waiting for someone in the military, just create more of that life to have for them when they get back, especially not dwelling in maybe the aspect of something bad happening. You know, I mean, a lot of the war that we fight these days is a more technological, and not hand-to-hand combat. So yes, there is a lot of crazy things happening when it comes to war and military, but these cards are telling me to keep a positive frame of mind, and know that if you are also there in United States military, that I feel this just because I am in the United States. So I will say that there are heavy laws and things that are in place for these people to be very well protected, regardless of all the controversy and things that are going on with that. So just know that. All right. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. And if you feel so called and you'd like to come out and see me again sometime, I do this every Saturday. I upload at 6 p.m. Central Time. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello to those of you that selected this card number 2 here with the 5 of Cups and this little cube crystal here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. So far I feel if you skip past this part, this is the card of the day that kind of blankets over the readings. Number 16, Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours. So I feel this card really embodies the energy of a divine detour. Yeah, this representation of this bridge over here as well. It's like getting your mind to go into a different direction, because it's like I'm feeling this roadblock. And we're at a standstill. We're at a moment where we need to see things for what they actually are. So I feel like sometimes within the energy of sorrow or loss, there can be a overwhelming illusionary energy that ends up happening. And so getting trapped in our mind. And also I'm hearing there might be some just kind of unusual things being said, or unusual things being thought of, scenarios being dreamt up that aren't really a part of your reality, because you're kind of letting the story run away with itself, is what that card is telling me. You're letting the story run away, and instead I'm seeing you looking at that for what it is. And there's a big process in that. You know, this card is also, you know, connected with Scorpio energy. So there's a very deep, intense energy that you might be feeling at this time. And you might be wanting to distract yourself with various different things in order to not feel the feelings that you're feeling so intensely. And you know, that the one thing about feelings, and intense feelings especially, is we can sometimes use things to stop ourselves, you know, medicate ourselves, or you know, use certain substances to medicate ourselves. I'm seeing alcohol, I'm seeing drugs, I'm seeing, you know, various different things. You know, I don't mean to trigger anyone in that, but I feel like anyone watching this type of reading, or that is going to be invested in my channel, is also going to be invested in self-healing. So, you know, bringing up things that are a little difficult to talk about is something that I'm going to be doing. So drugs, alcohol, abuse, you know, things like that, you know, we've had in our life that we deal with, or even, you know, loss of things, or loss of the feeling. I'm also of how things could have gone right, but then how, oh, so they did go so wrong, right? And so it's like you had to grieve that loss. So it's almost like I'm also hearing like, it's like you weren't given the right parent, or you weren't given the right guardian, you know, in your life or something like that. There might be that aspect where there's mourning the loss of not having the perfect person to raise you. And then it's like, well, you got to pick back up again. You have to be the person now to raise you. And that can be very challenging. We may be stuck for a long time in a very ambiguous state, not wanting to move forward or back, just staying still. And I'm feeling that there's going to be something that's going to give, that's going to make you feel very uncomfortable, and you're going to have to take that detour. You're going to have to trust. And that might be difficult for you in this moment in time for whatever energy you're dealing with, but I'm feeling like that level of trust is going to open up something so much more than you have ever really realized about yourself. And that's where that transformation aspect of Scorpio starts to come in and really take over and transform that feeling. That Pluto energy will give you something back from that thing that you lost that is so much more in line with your frequency. And I feel like also when you're in a state where you're down, there is also the feeling of the ebb and the flow. So when you feel down, trust and know that that will be coming back up. You can't stay down forever. Doesn't matter how down you actually get. Your human spirit will want to carry you up. And if yours can't do it, there's going to be people around you that will. Okay? So change is inevitable here on this card. All right, so let's see. We're going to get your archetype here that you might be working with as well. All right, and we'll take it. The Cave. Number 32. Another 5. Yeah, you're going through a lot of changes right now. These might be deeply personal. I don't know what they're doing here with the hands, but if it looks like covering the mouth. These look like, they look like human eyes, kind of, but they're a little spread apart. It's like a pressure point. I feel like there's a pressure. Oh, yeah. I feel like, remember how I said things might get uncomfortable before you make any changes. So I feel like there's like a pressure point. There is a point of your life, a point of a feeling within you that is going to be pressed upon a little bit, and that might be happening right now. You might be being pushed upon because you need to make changes, and the energy is saying, you know, maybe you don't wait until this gets super uncomfortable, or you feel the uncomfortability, you work through the uncomfortability, because then that pressure point or that, you know, energy will be resolved and it can balance itself out a little bit more. All right, so let's also look up here. Let's get you some these cards, astrology cards. House 3, learning, early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. And then fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. That was the word I was looking for when I said that you might have unusual thoughts, or however I put it, but the word I was looking for was irrational. Yeah, like I feel like this card can attribute to irrational or erratic thinking and behavior, because once we we get out of this stage of being brought down by grief, there is this erratic, irrational energy that kind of comes with that. So it's like there's something kind of lurking, waiting. It's like, is this a time when we learn from this, we rationalize this, we communicate this, or is this a time when we stay stuck in this and we persist and we push through the difficult things. I mean, both things kind of are aspects that could be happening. So it's like, this makes me feel more of like this, because this isn't fixed. House 3 isn't fixed. So it's more fluid. And this is feeling like there are definitely some aspects here, and more stuff about Scorpio here. So it's like these particular signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, this fixed energy, although, you know, the different qualities of the aspects, there's also fixedness within that. So it's just this very stubborn quality I'm feeling, but also it lends to the stability and the dependability of your life here. So it's like you've become this dependable individual, and or you are starting to be a little bit more recognized for being dependable. You know, putting out that loyalty, putting out that communication to the world. And at this stage, it feels like that change that needs to be happening is learning from a lot of these things. Maybe even, you know, because I had talked about not having the right parent, grieving the process, maybe going through a process of, you know, therapy. We're going through therapy or something, or we're also maybe at that stage in our 30s, somewhere around our 30s, where that file cabinet comes out of our brain. And it's like, what are those archives? What do we need to look at? What do we need to, you know, rework? Because I feel that that cave, that's the cave. You know, it's kind of this unknown aspect. But I'm also feeling this womb aspect, this womb inside of the earth, and how that can be very comforting. House 3, I'm seeing this connection to this inner child. Like, you are comforting this inner child. You are helping this inner child. You are working past some of these things that maybe I'm seeing these things not being so positive in the past for you, but are being things that you integrate now that are positive things, like the stability, being more of a persistent person, being a more loyal person, being more dependable than maybe things that you've been around, you know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more tarot here on this. But actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go into the guidebook here. Okay, so the more dark aspects of this card would be withdraw, isolation, and hiding from the world. So and then the light aspects are the sacred center within. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the go deeper prompt here. And I'm going to put it up on the screen because I don't know how to pronounce this word. Lascaux. The Cave of Crystals and the Blue Grotto. So those, just look those things up and you'll get more deeper insight into this. And it always gives me this aha moment, and that's what I just love. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so let's go ahead into the tarot now. I feel like in the position of the Five of Cups too, it's hard to be like this super open individual. If anything, at this stage, you're emotionally open and vulnerable, but also closed off, you know? So I'm feeling like I'm seeing the original depiction of that shroud, that cape around the person. And it's like they're hiding themselves from the world. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm hearing this over and I'm like, why? Why would someone hide from the world other than like how I hide from the world? The world can be a scary place, right? Oh, so many things. So many things. I mean, even just doing something simple like going to the grocery store can be kind of challenging, you know? And especially in your mind or in your emotions, like it can take on a whole nother animal where you're like, what is this feeling I'm feeling? This like, because I feel like this trust in divine detours, if you're someone who has a lot of intuition, you might purposely not want to take the journey because you already instinctively, intuitively, whatever, there's something nagging at you inside that's telling you, maybe we don't go on that thing today, maybe we don't do that today, because the challenge that it presents is maybe something that you're not fully ready for. Because this card is like, I'm not ready, you know, I need a moment, I need to take a knee in life, right? All right, so 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 7 of Wands, and Queen of Wands. Okay, I see you, girl. And the Chariot. Instantly I'm thinking of a particular subscriber who is very sweet, very, very sweet. And she always comments and says very lovely things, and you know who you are, hon. And I see you on that journey. You know, I recently watched a couple of your videos, and I subscribed to your channel, and I see you on that journey. I see you in that van with that dog. I see you. Okay, you're doing a great job. You're finding that, you're really finding that inner core of your person speaking specifically to you. Okay, I feel that Queen of Wands energy from you as well. Yeah, beautiful. So the 7 of Wands, you know, going back into this, so let's look at this. 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 7 of Wands, and the Queen of Wands with the Chariot underneath. So I feel moving past something may have been very difficult, but you're doing it. I feel like that there might have been some controversy, some conflict when it comes to being around other people. And this message this is my general message. This isn't for that specific person. I was just feeling that though. But I am feeling like this very giving energy. You wanting to give to the world. You wanting to give your spark, give your flavor, give your energy. And, you know, sometimes we're up against a little bit of opposition and competition. But really, I don't see that there's any competition in this, because you standing alone, standing on your own, standing for yourself, it's like you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for the aspect of getting past, getting through the feelings that you feel about the world, that you feel about life, that you feel about relationships, everything that really consists of that thing that is to be stable individual. You know, regardless of if you're physically stable in a stick-built house built into the ground and just you're, you know, like a very physical aspect of that, or whether you're very stable within and you have that inner core and that inner feeling within, so that you can go on that journey, so that you can go on all those, you know, different quests, with whether they be metaphorical within your mind. You know, I feel like this can also be a very processed emotional aspect where, you know, you could be going through therapy, going through all these things of the past that have been going on, and really trying to now see all the balance in them. How do I now take this and create it into something that can be beneficial for me, that can be the light that shines on me? Yeah. I just feel a very like big determination after a phase of feeling defeated. It's like this is giving me also Sagittarius energy, pulling back that bow, taking that energy back to then rocket forward not burning yourself out, not taking so many trips towards like making something comfortable for someone else or pleasing to someone else or going out of your way to, you know, it to not be about you. I feel like at this phase, this next energy, this is definitely about you. You're discovering more about yourself. And if you do have any children in your life, you discovering more about yourself will help you be a better parent. So if you shine your light, you're just going to do your job even better, right? Beautiful. So funny enough, reading 2 gives me relationship vibes most of the time. And this one is like all about you. This is all about you. And if you entered into this reading with the aspect of a relationship in mind, I feel like there might be some type of dynamic in this relationship or something to do with this that just isn't really doing it for you right now. And you're looking toward other means of, you know, supporting yourself at this time and looking at what you can do to shine your light even brighter. Because I feel like regardless of if this even makes someone upset, you know, that is your vibe. That is where you're at. You're not going to be brought down. I feel like maybe even this card could be an aspect of another person. You might be making someone else feel a certain way. And please, when I say this, don't take it on like I'm saying this is your fault, because obviously it is not your fault that you've created anything. You know, we all feel energy based on circumstances, and, you know, regardless if that's from another person or not, I mean, you cannot control how they're going to feel. I mean, sure, you can maybe not do horrible things to people, right? And then not make people sad. But I don't feel that. I don't feel like you've done anything wrong. I feel like you've gone out and you've really chosen yourself, and maybe this other person involved doesn't really know how to choose themselves, because I feel like they've been taken care of a lot. There's an aspect of that coming through, that there's a lot of nepotism attached to this person as well. Like, it's very specific, but I'm also feeling that, yeah, just you shining might be a trigger to other people. And I'm hearing that you just need to let that trigger flag fly. You do. You just need to let it go, let it fly, let it be your beacon, because if it's going to make other people upset, that's probably what it's designed to do, and it will help change or bring change into other people's lives. So it's this card, all these cards are kind of saying, don't dim yourself in order to fit into a certain circumstance. It's like, shine your light, you know, be the driver of your chariot, of your vessel, of your life forward. This is your life. You get to decide what is moving forward, and letting other people's energy influence you in any way at this time might take away from the light that you shine. Okay. And also, you know, once people in your life realize that this might be making them upset, they can take it a deep dive into their own personal journey. That is not your job, right? So I feel like a lot of the time, you know, especially if you're feminine watching this, we're caretakers, we are providers, we're people who want everybody to have a good life most of the time, right? We don't want things to go totally wrong. And when we see someone suffering, a lot of the time we want to pick up that energy and help someone. And when we do that, you know, a lot of the times, it's like, do you have the energy to give, is what this card's saying. Do you have the energy to give, first of all? And in this, does it take away from whatever energy you're about to receive? Because that's for you, not for someone else. And also, is there too much competition involved in this? Does this other person need to be defeated in order to become a better version of themselves? And then also, you standing up for yourself in a righteous form, the way that you are, and living your best life, will only help further along other people. And then I'm also hearing if there's any aspects of revenge, that is also the best revenge, is living your best life. Okay, so beautiful messages today for you. Let's see here. This is going to be your ending messages here for one for your light worker energy. No. Okay. So if you had a yes or no question coming into this, or if you feel like you have one, there is an aspect of postponing something, waiting for something, wait for those storm clouds to clear, take those detours. Like I had told group number 1, smell the roses, take the scenic route, you know, in life. Make something a little more flavorful in your day. And whatever this no is, it's probably just asking you to get deeper into that cave, understanding something about yourself, maybe even from childhood, and really face it. Face it in the way that if it's going to be triggering to you, if it's going to make you cry, it's only going to help you see the bigger picture, right? I see a tear being like a droplet of water on glass and being like an amplifier. You know, it can sometimes be that telescope into something else, some other aspect of yourself. And these cards here are going to be, this is the Chubby Witch Night In. So it's going to be like something you could do for a night in, some aspects you need to think about here. So the first card is 28, release that ish. Okay, so yeah, and number 12, it's time to get the journal out, babe. So you got 2 cards for that. So maybe doing some journaling at a night in, you know, doing some self-care. Also, maybe if there's an aspect of you that feels stuck, feels fixed, write about it. You know, do some channeled writing. Channeled writing can bring out, bring you out of that cave. Oh boy, can it ever. Funny enough, I just, like, I had my eyes kind of, the sun is kind of in my face, so I had my eyes kind of squinched. And these eyes in this looked like 2 bats flying at me. So I'm also seeing, like, there is, and I'm being, okay, bats. Bats are the most numbered of any mammal that there is on the planet. There's more mammal bats than there are any other mammals. So I'm feeling like there's many, many, many aspects of you that might come out of this cave that you might be overwhelmed by, that you don't know how to deal with. So it's asking you to process. I'm hearing that what I said again, taking a knee to it, taking a pause to evaluate it, to work it out. How are you bringing it in? To 3, saying, how are you bringing that energy in? And the 5 is also saying, how do you let go? How are you letting go of that energy? Because there's things that we need to look at. It's like some things are going to be no's, some things are going to be hell yeses. And I feel like that hell yes is you. Okay, you need to say yes to you, yes to what makes you feel good, what lights you up, what brings out the best side of you. And if that is uncomfortable for other people, that's just too darn bad, right? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this reading today. And if you feel so called and you'd like to come out and see me again sometime, I upload Saturdays, 6 p.m. Central Time. All right. Thank you and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello to those of you who chose this card here, number 3, 4 of Wands. And you guys have the sun really coming in here in your reading. See all my little plants in my window. All right, so I'm feeling a beautiful energy of celebration, okay? 4 of Wands, nothing short of a celebratory card. I'm feeling this very wedding also is coming through. Some kind of event, some kind of party, okay? But also the 4 of Wands is, to me, a symbol of reworking energy before we put more onto it. So it's not quite that stable, like real hardcore, you know, 4 of Pentacles, you know, where it's kind of almost stuck where it is, but it's more of that up in the air, still got that energy flowing to it, so you can make changes. So I guess there's some you know, message coming through there. So if there's any changes you need to make in the project or anything that you're involved in, that now is the time to take a look at that and evaluate. All right. And you chose this little crystal here. Okay. All right. This crystal also kind of has like a interesting aspect to its balance. It has like 2 pyramids on top of each other. So yeah, I feel like there's a coming together as well. 2 stable individuals coming together. All right, let's get you an archetype card here to look at more of the energy. And also, if you didn't see in the beginning, I pulled a card of the day kind of to blanket over the energy of all 3 readings. Coyote Spirit number 16, trust in divine detours. So if when it relates to the 4 of Wands, you know, there's your detour. Reworking, you know, is there anything that we need to look at again, readjust, make our final touches on things in order for them to be out there and be a thing in the world? All right. All right, so we have the archetype of the forest, number 36. And I'm going to do for you what I did for group number 2. I'm going to give you the prompt or the go deeper dive into this card. It just, if you have these cards, if you know anything about these cards, she has a little guide that you can look at. You know, there's different stuff on, like, you've got like all these different things in here. So to give you the bottom, the forest, the woods, the thickets, the jungle. So the light aspect of this is magic abounds, childlike wonder, adventure. And the dark aspect is concealment, density, savagery. Okay, so your go deeper aspect is to the opening 3 lines of Dante Alighieri's Inferno. All right. I also love these on the side. The hunter, the maiden, the crone, and the shaman make regular appearances in the forest. Don't be surprised if these cards come up together. Let the narrative reveal itself. Okay. If you have to get out of the forest without feeling lost, you are only in a little grove of trees. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our life. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think that Dante's Inferno, like, okay, one thing that is coming up is necessity is the mother of invention, is something that I feel like I tell myself almost every day. It's mainly because if you get into complacency and comfort, you know, too much, you're not going to expand your life anymore. You know, I feel like, and sometimes I do that. I am a life path 4. I'm Scorpio. I do have a tendency to get stuck, but I'm also a Sagittarius sun or Sagittarius moon. So I have that free spirit kind of energy flowing through me, wanting, kind of almost crawling up the walls at times. Like, if I don't do something, I'm gonna explode. So I'm feeling like facing that in yourself with this Wands fire energy. It's like facing that feeling of staying put, finding that stability, but also facing that whatever's lurking in that deep space that we have within our our world, our mind is like the universe, right? Our mind is like its own universe. So I feel like this card is saying, you know, spending some time in that universe, understanding different aspects of yourself. And also maybe even stirring up a little bit of fear, because a healthy level of fear can push you toward success. I feel like this card is also a card of success. All right, so let's get you some astrological energies here. House 8. We have transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love how it all works out. All right, some other energy for those that selected group 3. House 7. I'll give it to you. Here, you can have another one. Cancer. So, house 7, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. And the sign of Cancer with nurture, comfort, and protection. So I've got some mom vibes coming in. Also, house 7, 8, 7, 8. So that's definitely showing me that there is someone here who's definitely combining their life with another person. I feel like house 8 is the house of shared assets, and then we have house 7 with, you know, relationships, partnerships, intimacies. And also I'm feeling like this karma is also in this card, because in this I have like the Justice card. So I'm feeling maybe we're really facing, I'm feeling like facing the fear of the vulnerable side of yourself, because, you know, what it means to partner up with somebody or share a life with somebody, or I guess that's partnership, right? Or any type of partnership, whether it be a business partnership. But I'm also, in this is saying profound, romantic, intimate, you know, type of relationships. So if this is a partnership in business, there are definitely aspects of something a little more personal, is what I'm feeling. But yeah, I think the biggest vibe here that I'm getting so far is something about marriage. I'm getting a little bit of cold feet vibes, which is totally like, if you don't have that, just a little bit, like something's going wrong. Maybe you're self-medicating too much. Everything's fine, because everything's not fine, right? So maybe there's just a little bit of stuff where we're facing this part of ourselves where we're like, okay, here it is. Here I go. I'm on this launch pad and I'm ready to freaking take off. What do we do from here? You know? Yeah. So, you know, I also feel like this card imbibes that feeling of celebration so much so that it can almost be like, let's not think about that, you know? Like, let's just have a party and have our friends over and have this stuff happen, and so we don't have to think about all those other things and like a distraction. Like, I'm feeling like that also, because these can be kind of heavy things, and this is like a heavy like thing that you might be going into, but also it's like you're keeping the energy light. Maybe it's like there's a lot of negative things that could be associated with all these things that, you know, are heavy and hard to deal with, but you make it so much easier because you have like this very light spirit on it. You're treating it like a celebration. Every milestone, it's like this. Let's celebrate this. This is great. I'm getting good vibes, very good vibes from this group. Okay, so let's get you some tarot here. I also feel like if there's a little feeling of like that detour energy that we're like, you just need to trust that if something kind of goes wrong, that maybe that's good. Like, there's kind of that almost superstition about that. Like in a wedding, if something doesn't go wrong, it's like, oof. Like, that went too well, you know? So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm feeling like also, if you're here and you're like, okay, well, I'm not getting married, or I already am married. I really choked when I was about to say you're married to your work. I said, oh, you're married to your work. Yeah. And maybe that's your hard shell, that is, you're finding something out about yourself. You're finding these deeper aspects out about yourself. And it's like, I do want this. I do want partnership. I do want celebration of having a family in my life, or having stability in my life, or wanting that. And I'm feeling that as more of an energetic form, or a thought, or a feeling, you know, instead of it being something that might be very much of a reality for you. So maybe you're trying to make this more of a reality for yourself, and you're facing a lot of things about yourself that you're going, oh wow, I can see how I'm an island of one at times, or I can see how I'm lost in this world of so many scary things, and wanting to kind of shelter myself in some way. I feel maybe even doing it to where you keep yourself from having any kind of profound connection with someone, because that level of intimacy brings up fears of loss, separation, and maybe you have a lot of anxiety about that. Maybe also you have fear of abandonment, neglect, things like that. I'm feeling that because I'm feeling this heavy energy of, you know, needing to parent yourself, needing to nurture and love and carry yourself and be the mother that you maybe didn't have. And when you do this, the Four of Wands is saying there is a beautiful, beautiful connection with a community waiting to celebrate you. All right, we have the King of Pentacles, the Justice. Okay, that's interesting, that card. Oh, these two cards, both Libra energy. Oh, what's going on here? I'm going to give you a few more. Maybe one extra than I give everybody else. Okay. And then the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So beautiful. Things are turning in your favor. But also, you know, the wheel is indicative of, are you doing the things that are making the wheel turn? Because I feel like you are. All right, so yeah, the group number 2 got this, or 3. Doesn't matter. Maybe you can. Maybe you wanted to watch 2 groups. Maybe that is that for a couple of you. But okay, let's check it out here. So 10 of Pentacles, the Moon, 4 of Swords, 2 of Swords, Justice, King of Pentacles. Under the deck we have Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like this connecting here with legacy, and that connection that I said to shared assets and resources, this might be very beneficial to you, okay? Whatever you're entering into, I feel like maybe if this is coming from marriage, you're entering into a great state of financial relief. And yeah. And the Moon is showing me that there's not all of these aspects that you're going to know right away. Okay, there's some hidden things about this, but also these hidden things include that aspect of mother, include that aspect of this Cancer energy, of the nurturing, the comfort, the protection that you provide yourself in order to feel moving those emotions along smoothly. Because I do feel like the Four of Swords, the Moon, this is giving me a little bit of emotional energy, and the Cancer can be an emotional individual as a sign. I'm a Gemini Cancer, or well, I'm a Gemini rising, but I'm a cusped on that, so I do have like a lot of aspects of that. I am very nurturing, very motherly, and when Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, I gain weight, unfortunately. But aside from that, I'm feeling like there is this very deep connection to your mother, okay? And there's something about this, because this legacies and facing these fears, I feel like it's also, there might be a fear of becoming your mother, a fear of just becoming the woman that is the archetype of what you're used to in your life. And this might be like a forest to you, so vague but yet so big, like this, a place to get lost in is what I'm feeling. And it's like I feel like also maybe you don't know that much about her, or maybe she's kept a lot from you to maybe protect you, or maybe to give you a general census and opinion of her that, you know, she's, I feel like sometimes our parents are even just like relationships too. Like, it's like, you know, you're kind of dating your parents through them raising you in that aspect. That, like, when you get older and you're like, I see how you've tried to put your best foot forward, but like really you were hiding things from me because you wanted to keep something from me because you wanted me to be something that wasn't you. Okay, that's, well, yeah, that's coming through. So I'm feeling like there, with the Two of Swords, there may be some decisions that are coming up that you have to make, and you have to do this. And with a blind census, you cannot use your superficial material attachment to this in any way. This has to be something that is felt. And I feel like you're going to be having a lot of these feelings. There's a deep, deep sense of emotional. And I feel like if you're going to a wedding, if you're the mother of this person getting married, there's another thing coming through with that. I feel like you do have it very, you're very happy about this, but you're also have an element of loss and sadness because you're losing your baby. And you're not. You're never going to lose your baby. Your baby's always the baby of the aspect of the past. You can always go there in your mind, I feel, okay? And this Justice card is also showing me that make sure that if this is a marriage, one of the things that you can alleviate stress is maybe doing a prenup, or maybe also the way, instead of, I mean, that prenups are pretty heavy, and they only really come with, like, if you're marrying somebody with like a lot of businesses and money and stuff like that. But I'm feeling like in a small way, in a more pedestrian way, we'll say, maybe we need to we could do something like a certified, or like a certified letter, or not a certified letter, a notarized thing. Make something official about commitments that you want to make to each other, something like that. Or maybe it doesn't have to be official or notarized. I mean, that seems a little, some people find that kind of stuff romantic when you go really far to make something official and get a lot of the official people involved and be like we're being really serious about this, and damn, this is so romantic. And then there's also other people that are like, you're killing the romance because all this logistics getting in the way is killing the vibe of the romance. So what I'm feeling from this also is like, just taking the necessary steps. The King of Pentacles is showing me there is this very stable individual that you're attached to, and they want the best for their legacy. And they're going to do their damnedest to keep this house firm and solid and secure. And it's like, are you going along with this? Are you this person? Are you this strong individual? And with this individual comes boundaries, very, very strong boundaries. So I feel the Ten of Pentacles is like the boundary of all boundaries. It's the compound walls that you're in with, in the castle or in the village that you live in, or the place. It's the gated community. It's you being like, I know what my worth is, and I will not be taken for anything less. So if any of these themes are coming up in the days that follow, and examine those, take a deep dive in those, and like this card said, maybe even spend a night fearing for those things in order to understand what it is to move forward, because fear can be another level, like I said, of healthy movement forward, healthy progression, healthy energy to put toward action. Because sometimes without fear we could become very comfortable, and that comfortability that warns us in the Ten of Pentacles can feel very complacent, very boring, very routine, and it can stifle and take away the joy of what it is to be grateful for the things that we have. So I feel like you're finding new gratitude as well, definitely finding new gratitude and more of a position of protection within the comfort that you provide yourself, within the level of nurturing. I'm also seeing this as like a statement or an energy that you put out to the world when you're meeting new people or you're engaged in understanding of new relationships. I could see you being at a party and, you know, mingling, and maybe this is a work thing and you're having a lot of work conversations, and it's like some people kind of push the envelope when it comes to etiquette with business, and you need to know your worth when you're walking into these, you know, energies, these circumstances, so that you can conduct yourself accordingly, right? So we don't want to abandon ourselves for the idea that we could have something that maybe is not suited for us, but it seems sparkly and shiny and we want it, right? But just be real and honest with ourselves is what these cards are saying. To trust those intuitions, those feelings that you have to make the right decisions, okay? And when you do that, the energy will pick up and you will have, I feel, more than you even really know what to do with. You might even need to get some counsel on that. Okay, so let's get you some ending cards here. Some more for your light worker energy. All right, we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Ah, yes, lovely. Going back to that beginning message, you know, before the celebration and keeping things light because of the heaviness, you know, we had here. So it's like, bring in that light, bring in that play, because when things get heavy and serious, you know, it's like, I mean, we can balance this, right? There is a balance. We don't want to end up in the cup, right? But if we play around with the cup with our friends, and, you know, that could be fun. But, you know, getting too deep into it is what I'm feeling like. Try not to get too deep into the play, because there is a seriousness. There is a seriousness that you have that you should always hold on to, is saying, because I feel like also sometimes people that are very, very serious individuals, if they let their hair down, they might let it get too far away from themselves because they've starved themselves out. It's kind of like when I'll liken it even to food, you know, like where I restrict so that I can lose weight and feel healthy and do all these things. And then I get into the energy of, well, you know, I deserve this piece of cake, or I deserve this pizza or whatever. And then I have a tendency to go a little too overboard. And it's like I become kind of a yo-yo with my weight loss and my weight gain. And so, you know, that kind of message is like a personal message for me, and maybe for you as well, is to like make sure you don't take it too far, because there's still, you know, you still got to pay the bills when it comes down to it, right? All right, so let's get you your last message here is from the Chubby Witch Night In Oracle. This is gonna like a time that you want to spend with yourself, a night in, you know, themes that might be coming up, things that you might want to think about. All right, we have low energy, high self-love, number 16. So that's also the number of our card of the day. So that might be your detour. Might be able to trust in yourself more when you are in a high self-love state. You know, when you understand and you feel that you're in this energy and you don't push yourself more. You go, okay, I understand that I'm in this energy. I will honor my body and I will move accordingly, right? So I feel like you have all the accoutrement, you have all the things that you need, and you're ready to get your energy back. I feel like this is also this Four of Wands is this surge of energy. So maybe we need a period of rest so that we can be able to take on all this energy. Because if you feel like you're spreading yourself out too thin, like I feel like also in the forest, it's like if you're too many or in too many of the trees, like understanding too many things at once, you might lose sight of yourself, right? So coming back to that self. That's why I love we got King of Pentacles, because this card is always like, I come with great rewards if you honor your boundaries of yourself, because you can't maintain anything if you don't maintain self first. Well, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me in this energy exchange. And if you have any desire to see me again, please subscribe and thumbs up and do all those things to help my little channel get its grow on, okay? All right. Thank you so much and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.